Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to get through this thing called life. Cinnamon! Yes, ma'am. Girl, get down out that tree.
I'm on the lookout,
It's
Mama.
time for dinner. And you better not jump. Remember what happened to you last time.
Okay, I won't. See, as a little girl, I believed I was supposed to be a lighthouse. I was supposed to help people on their paths. But what black person do you know works in a lighthouse? Right. Life has a way of helping you forget who you are and placing you in a nice box that makes it more convenient and comfortable for other people. See, I grew up in a picture perfect home with so much unconditional love and freedom to be authentically, unapologetically us. With my mom, my sister, my dad, and my grandmother. My sister and I were very carefree children. And we had huge, real big imaginations, right? At least that's what people thought until my sister opened her mouth. Yeah, I remember the time she walked up to a lady and said, "Your daughter wants you to stop crying. She's right there. Stop crying. She says it's time for you to play. She's happy." Needless to say, the lady freaked out because her daughter had passed a year ago. See, my sister had the gift of mediumship. We both could see spirits, but she was the wild child. She didn't care. She opened her mouth. She said what she needed to say. And people either loved it or was taken back by it. But that's not how I wanted to be. See, it was easier for me to embrace being the perfectionist and a people pleaser. Why? Because it was safer. I didn't want to be seen as strange or weird or even a black sheep. Okay? Like my sister. So I did make it convenient for myself. I chose another path. That's until 1998. When I decided to go against Spirit's advice and I went and married my high school sweetheart because I knew my love was strong enough for both of us. After 3 years of struggling, I had the most beautiful, amazing baby that was 6 months old. My marriage was declining and my mother passed away suddenly. She left a big gaping hole in our hearts. That's the first time I realized that my mother had gifts. She shared with us 2 months before her death that she would be leaving. She also gave us specific instructions to be prepared for 9/11. She asked my aunt to promise not to go to work that day. And it was very odd that no one in the family questioned my mother. They all honored her wishes. And that's when I knew we had a family secret. Both of my parents and my grandparents had psychic gifts. But to be honest, that was neither here nor there. I was broken. I was struggling and all I wanted was God's grace and mercy upon me because my heart was hurting and I was cracked wide open. And then I began seeing spirits again and hearing voices like when I was a little child.
Breathe, Cinnamon. Remember who you are. There's more for you.
Summer 2005, I was leaving Target, purchasing the last few items for my cruise. I was celebrating my divorce. As I was going to my car, that's when I heard the voice. Next thing you know, my car's running, door open, and this lady is hugging me, asking me with tears running down her face, "Are you an angel? Who are you? You just answered my prayers. Thank you. Needless to say, I was quite bewildered because I didn't remember any of this. But I got back into my car and I went to the spirit store so that I could purchase some wine. And as I'm in line, this very tall Arabic man walks from around the counter, gives me this gigantic hug, and says, "You did a good job." Walks back around the counter, rings up my wine, and gives me a lollipop. Both myself and the patrons behind me were real confused, okay? What just happened? But it dawned on me, I had received another gift. I was now channeling. Now, did I like it? No. It happened everywhere, anywhere, it didn't matter. Hi, my name is Cinnamon. Hi, Karen. Congratulations on your new job. How you know me, and how'd you know I got a new job? That's what I was dealing with.
Breathe. There's more. And we're here for you.
Fast forward, it is October 2019. And my mind was racing, my head was throbbing, and my blood pressure was going up. See, I had to sign the papers to renew the lease on my business space. Yeah, and I couldn't pull the trigger, right? I had Spirit and God talking on one side saying, "Cinnamon, don't do it. Don't sign the papers." And then on the other side, I had my ego like, "What you doing, girl? We need to get this done. What will people think of you?" So I decided to take some deep breaths and relax my mind, and I went to my happy place. I was thinking about my son, and he was a freshman in college at Bowie, and how proud I was of him. And my thoughts became visions, right? I saw a flash of him, but it was too real. So I picked up the phone and I called him. Needless to say, he was freaking out. He thought I was on campus, but I wasn't. And that's when I knew I had developed yet another gift called remote viewing.
Remember.
Do I remember?
You're stronger than you think.
Do I? I remember I was diagnosed with hypertension, diabetes, arthritis, acid reflux, insomnia, night sweats, and gout in my left toe. My world was rocked. And what was interesting is that even though I heard all those things, I felt deep within every fiber of my being that I could heal and reverse my diagnosis. And I did. Hey, I reversed every single diagnosis. So if I could heal myself, then surely I could make a decision on that business, right? So I decided to go deeper with Spirit. Fast forward, it's now March 2020. COVID has struck the world, has shut down with fear, but me, on the low, was ecstatic. I was happy. I was filled with joy. Why? Because I put the pause in my life, right? I pumped my brakes. Why? Because I finally got off of that hamster wheel called life, doing the same things over and over and over again. I wanted more from God. I wanted to sit with God. I wanted to sit with Spirit and understand who I was and what this life was about. I wanted more. And more I got. I had meetings with the Spirit 3 a.m. for months. Months. Every day, 3 a.m., speaking with Spirit, and I loved it. It became like a drug. I loved sitting quietly and meditating and listening. But at the same time, I also developed another ailment. 3 months before my next doctor's visit, where I was almost hospitalized because I had fibroids and I bled for 3 months straight, I had another vision. But this time, it wasn't a vision. I was actually with Spirit. And I told them that if it was true, that they were real, and I wasn't hallucinating, I wasn't losing my mind, then they would grant me a wish, which they did. I had a miraculous healing. My fibroids were gone, and the blood had stopped forever. And I made that promise, and to today, I have kept that promise. So no matter how much my husband and family thought I might have been losing my mind, going crazy, I wasn't. Yes, I battled with not knowing who I was. But one thing was for certain and two things was for sure. That deep burning in my heart to be with Spirit and to receive more was there. And until today, I am still embracing my walk with God and my spirit team. And it's marvelous. I am now authentically and unapologetically me. No longer the people pleaser or the perfectionist. I am that lighthouse. I am cinnamon brown.